Good morning. Welcome to 5 minutes summaries. Today we will deal with positivism and post-positivist approach to research. Positivism and post-positivist approach to research is comparatively something new that is added to the NTA syllabus. The major positivist scholar that you might be familiar with is Auguste Comte, and this philosophy is actually emphasized on or is concentrated on objectivity, and on the other hand post-positivism is focused on subjectivity. Coming to two terms which we all have to be well aware while we deal with positivism and post-positivism are, first one, epistemology, and the second is methodology. Epistemology comes from the Greek word epistem, and this means knowledge. Epistemology is the philosophy of knowledge, or how we come to know. The word epistemology, it is actually from Greek origin, and the word in Greek is episteme, and this means knowledge. And on the other side, methodology is the practical knowledge. Methodology is also concerned with how we come to know, but is much more practical in nature. So in both epistemology and methodology, what we look is how we come to know of certain things. Ology, that means study of something, and they are very much related. Both looks how we come to know of something, but methodology is more practical. How practically we see or find things from laboratories or our experiments is given more concern in methodology. The process of coming to the knowledge is more important in methodology rather than the real facts, which is more important in epistemology. So next is positivism and post-positivism. Both are philosophies used in science for scientific inquiry. So if you have to find some truth, or if you are to find some scientific things, we use positivist ideologies and post-positivist ideologies. The spirit of inquiry is there in positivism and post-positivism. These have to be viewed as two independent philosophies that are different from one another. So both are two different philosophies. First, we will deal with positivism. Positivism is the philosophy that stresses empiricism. You all know empiricism. It means coming to something with the help of observation and measurable facts or measurable things. So getting knowledge with the help of observation and measurement. It highlights the importance of objectivity and necessity to study observable components. So objectivity is very important in case of studies. In case of natural sciences, we normally use positivism, where the result should be always seen. If you add 1 plus 1, you should always get 2. It should be objective, and there should be no difference in the results. Even I add, or if another person add, the results must be seen. Or if I do certain experiments or some other person do some experiments, the results should be seen. There is the necessity to study observable components. Observable components can be studied using positivism. On the other hand, coming to the second one, post-positivism, this is a philosophy that rejects positivism and presents new assumptions in order to unravel truth. So this totally rejects positivism, and they say that there is nothing subjective in knowledge. There is subjectivity associated with knowledge, and there is no objectivity associated with knowledge, as the positivists say. And they present new assumptions that the reality or the perception of different people could be different. Positivism is a rejection of metaphysics. The purpose of science is simply to stick to what we can observe and measure. So this is what we normally do in science. We normally stick on to study things that we can observe and measure. The other things which cannot be observed or which cannot be measured, we normally give it up. We don't actually make studies on them in science. But the post-positivists, they give more emphasis to the things that cannot be actually measured or they cannot be actually observed. B.S. Skinner, who is a positivist, he argued that psychology needed to concentrate only on positive and negative reinforcers of behavior in order to predict how people will behave. So you need to find out how people will behave, and if you have to find out the behavioral pattern, you have to focus on the positive and negative reinforcers, and from this you can observe and measure, and thereby you can predict the behavior. But on the other hand, post-positivists say that the experiences are very subjective and this can make changes in individuals. Coming to the next, empiricism. I have already told you, in positivism we give emphasis to empiricism. Empiricism is an epistemological standpoint that states that experience and observation should be the means of gaining knowledge. Always our knowledge should be on the basis of our experience and our observation. We should experience certain things and we should observe things and we should learn. Then only our knowledge will be of some value. This is what we say about empiricism. It's an epistemological standpoint or a knowledge-based standpoint. And positivism, this is an evidence-based reality that can be mathematically interpreted. And after doing some experiments, we will try to predict and control reality. This is what we do in case of positivism. We want results only that will suit to our experimental results. We try to predict results and we try to control the reality. According to Kinsler, it strongly focuses on the deterministic view of cause and effect, which derives from deductive reasoning that research is guided by theory. So there is deductive reasoning, and this research is always guided by theory. There will be certain theory and you will be trying to find out whether this theory is right, and you only use a single method to analyze this theory. You will follow the theoretical pattern or the procedures that will be given to you and you will come up with a result. And if you get some results which do not comply to your research theory, then you will automatically give them up as something which cannot be used. This is what you do in case of positivism. Positivism highlights that scientific inquiry should rely on observable and measurable facts rather than on subjective experiences. So you should rely on observable facts. And only the natural sciences such as physics, chemistry and biology was counted as science by the positivists. They only believe that you can find truth only through science. Physics, chemistry and biology, only these sciences will enable you to find truth according to positivists. And only in these you can find things which can be observed or measured. Coming to the next, the social sciences. The social sciences, on the other hand, like sociology or political science, where the experiences of individuals are taken into consideration, of which is given importance, as these subjective experiences cannot be measured or observed. These are not something that fall into the positivist framework. And Auguste Comte, as I have already told you, is one of the major positivists. According to Goodin, positivism originated from natural sciences. This knowledge is measured against empirical evidence. The origination or the origin of positivism is from natural sciences, where you can get the results as such. But these results are actually measured against some empirical evidence. You will be measuring this again and again. Coming to the next, post-positivist paradigm. After studying a lot, the scientists, they have come to a realization that all observation, including objective reality, is fallible. So there can be changes in the way people perceive things. There will be subjective changes in reality. Even in case of natural sciences, there can be errors. They are fallible. So this is what post-positivists believe. There can be errors even in natural sciences, or even in everything you study there can be errors. So for this there can be, you can say that there will be subjective experiences. What one scientist finds by doing a research may not be the same thing another one finds. There can be subjective differences due to certain other conditions. A complete rejection of the core values of positivism is what is done in post-positivism. And there is a common comparison of scientific reasoning with layman's reasoning. Normally what we believe or we come to a conclusion is actually after long procedures. We come to a conclusion after our own experiments, and this is what the scientists also do. They do certain procedures and they arrive at conclusions. Post-positivists point out that our observations cannot be always relied. So you cannot always rely on your observations. There can be subjective errors. For example, the 1857 mutiny is considered as merely a mutiny by the British government. And on the other side, the Indians consider this as the first war of independence. So there will be subjective changes. The facts are the same. There was some fight, but there can be subjective errors. The perceptions of people may determine the reality. Then the post-positivists, they are critical realists. When we call the positivist realists, you can call the post-positivist critical realists. They try to analyze reality on a different level. And there is triangulation. Triangulation means you will try to arrive at the same results or conclusions with different experiments. In the case of positivism, if you get a result from an experiment, you will just believe in that. You don't try to do other sorts of experiments. You won't explore whether there are other possibilities. What you do in case of post-positivism is that you explore whether there are other possibilities for your research, whether you can do the same through any other methods. Post-positivism also assumes that scientists are never objective and there can be biases due to the cultural beliefs. So if you have some cultural beliefs, these can create biases in your research. So the scientists also, they are not objective according to post-positivists. Post-positivism is called methodological pluralism because there can be many types of results. You cannot strictly rely on any one single result. Then post-positivism is concerned with subjectivity of reality, and there is nothing that can be completely understood. Not everything is completely knowable. There are three paradigmatic determinants for post-positivism. First one is ontology, second is epistemology, and the third is methodology. Ontology is the reality studied. The real thing. Ontology is the reality. Ontology is equal to reality. And epistemology is the knowledge of the reality. What is real? If you know what is real, that is epistemology. And methodology is the strategy that is used to understand the reality. So there are three paradigmatic determinants: ontology, the reality; epistemology, the knowledge of reality; and methodology, the strategy that is used to understand the reality. Then there is definition of positivism and post-positivism. Positivism is a philosophical stance that highlights the importance of objectivity and necessity to study observable components. And on the other side, post-positivism is a philosophy that rejects positivism and presents new assumptions in order to unravel the truth. So next is a comparison between positivist and post-positivist. Positivists are realists and post-positivists are critical realists. Then aim of science. Positivists believe that science aims to unravel truth, and post-positivists believe that this is impossible as there are errors in all scientific methods. So that's all. Subscribe to our channel for more videos. You can find more lectures related to UPSC and NET from our channel. Do take care. Thank you.